The hip-hop industry has many examples of artists who had it all at the peak of their fame but found themselves with almost nothing just a couple of years later. The hero of today's video is yet another proof of this phenomenon. In 2017 to 2018, his tracks were everywhere, and he was a fresh new voice for which major labels were literally fighting, offering lucrative contracts. His energetic style, aligning perfectly with the prevailing trends of the time, quickly captured the attention of a broad audience. Today, we will talk about Rich the Kid.
Hey, blow up. I don't even understand.
Tracks like New Freezer, Plug Walk, and Lost It became real hits, earning millions of listens and views on YouTube. Rich the Kid was at the top, his name was constantly in the charts, and his concerts filled entire venues. He collaborated with top industry stars, solidifying his status as an in-demand artist. Rich the Kid's success was so overwhelming that many predicted a long and brilliant career for him. However, just a couple of years later, the rapper had nearly lost all his success. His new releases saw a drastic drop in listenership, sometimes tenfold or even 100-fold compared to his peak popularity. His name no longer frequently appeared in music news headlines, and his concerts attracted significantly smaller audiences. What caused such a sharp decline? Let's try to figure it out together. Make yourself comfortable. We're starting! Rich the Kid was born in Queens, New York on July 13, 1992. At birth, he was named Dimitri Leslie Roger. His parents are Haitian, and he is very proud of his family roots. As a child, he learned Haitian Creole and often incorporates it into his tracks. After some disagreements between his parents, they divorced, and his mother took care of him. When he was 13, he and his mother moved to Woodstock. The rapper's childhood and teenage years were spent in a less than privileged neighborhood, surrounded by illegal substances which undoubtedly shaped his worldview. Rich the Kid also admitted that he sold illegal substances starting at the age of 15, but considers it a bad experience. Here's his quote. "I was doing it as a teenager until I turned 20. I just needed money. There were people who influenced me. All my siblings sold illegal substances, but I never wanted to be like that. I always wanted to be someone like an artist. It wasn't cool." During his teenage years, the future rapper engaged in car thefts and break-ins, for which he was first arrested at the age of 17 and spent 6 months in jail. However, this arrest did not stop Roger, and he continued stealing until he was 20 years old.
I fuck with like selling weed, bags and shit, you know what I'm saying, Xanax, whatever, whole bunch of shit. I'm getting whatever off, like I said, you know what I'm saying, getting cars, getting phones off, whatever. I was just trying to make the next dollar to, you know what I'm saying, make my dream happen.
All right, so at one point you were actually working at Wendy's and you ended up getting fired.
Man, yeah, man. Where was I staying at? I was staying somewhere in Marietta, and I was buying weed from this dude, like he had some fire shit. So I was like trapping a little bit, whatever, trapping the weed, and then like I was trying to like focus. Like my mom kicked me out, so I was staying with my dad. I was trying to focus so hard on something. So my dad was like, "Bro, you just need to get a job. You need to get a job." So the dude I was buying weed from, he's like, "Yo, my man's like a manager at Wendy's. He can put you on if you really want a job." So like shit.
As you saw in the video, the rapper's first legal job was at the fast food chain Wendy's, where he worked for about a week before being fired. Shortly after, he found work at a candy factory, but this job also didn't suit Roger. From that moment on, Rich the Kid would never work a regular job again. He decided once and for all to pursue rap as his way out of the endless cycle of arrests and job hunting.
What made you want to start to rap?
Keeping myself out of trouble. I was getting locked up for doing all type of dumb shit at the time. And I feel like it was like my way out. I was looking for a way out. I got a job. I had 2 jobs at work. One job at Wendy's, and I worked at a candy factory for like a day.
Oh, really?
A candy factory?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how I got the job, but I worked at a candy factory for like a couple hours. You know, when they have you packing up the candy and like the packages and shit. And I had like some type of net on my head, and I could see the reflection of my face in the machine, and I just took it off. I'm like, this is not for me. I took it off.
It's Wendy's.
No, it was the candy factory.
Okay.
I took the net off my head. I threw it on the ground. I was like, I quit. Wow. After like a couple hours, I called my dad's son to come pick me up. He picked me up in the truck.
Okay.
And then we was out.
As a child, he loved listening to rap, and his favorite artists included 50 Cent, Jay-Z, and Tupac. When he moved to Atlanta, he started listening to Young Jeezy. He received his education at Elmont Memorial High School in New York. He grew up listening to music from different genres and dreamed of one day being part of the music industry. In his teenage years, he took the stage name Black Boy the Kid. Later, he changed his mind and chose the pseudonym Rich the Kid. Rich the Kid started rapping in 2010. His early tracks were featured in mixtapes like Cut the Check, Next Batter Up, and Cut the Check 2. However, his serious entry into the music industry began with the American hip-hop group Migos, founded in 2008. The group included rapper Quavo, his nephew Takeoff, and their cousin Offset. Roger's career took off in 2013 when he released his first mixtape titled Been About the Benjamins. This mixtape featured the aforementioned Migos, as well as Homie Quan. Over the next couple of years, he continued collaborating with Migos and released a series of joint mixtapes with the group titled Streets on Lock. These mixtapes brought the rapper his first recognition, particularly the track Jumping Like Jordan, which Rich the Kid considers his first breakthrough in his career.
What would you say is the first song that really got you like recognized? Was it the Jumping Like Jordan?
Yeah, Trap House Jumping Like Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
The artist's early discography was quite extensive. In 2014, he released 2 solo mixtapes titled Feels Good to Be Rich and Rich Than Famous, featuring artists like Rocky Fresh, Yo Gotti, Young Thug, Kirko Bangs, and Riff Raff. That same year, the rapper released the single On My Way and a joint mixtape Solid Foundation with Quality Control. His first release in 2015 was Still on Lock, a collaborative mixtape with Migos. In August of that year, he released a 14-track project called Flexin' on Purpose, featuring Ty Dolla $ign, Young Dolph, Fetty Wap, Pee Wee Longway, and 2 Chainz.
I can't believe I got fame. Look where I came, the 9 on my hip. When you get money.
The artist collaborated with I Love McConnen and on November 26, 2015, released the mixtape Whip It. Then, Rich the Kid released Dabbin' Fever, a mixtape released on Christmas Eve, featuring artists like Kodak Black, Migos, Wiz Khalifa, and Currency.
Running with the money, still chasing dead people. Needing in the pain that I'm pulled up.
The young Rich the Kid's popularity started to rise. However, despite releasing solo works and frequently expanding his discography with new releases while collaborating with various artists, he didn't have a large personal fan base and was mainly perceived as Migos' friend. To shed this reputation and establish himself as a solo artist, Rich the Kid decided to capitalize on his growing popularity and start his own label. In March 2016, Rich the Kid founded his own label, Rich Forever Music. The first artist signed to the label was Famous Dex, followed by J Stash, who had some popularity in certain circles. Rich the Kid wasted no time and released the label's first project, Rich Forever, which consisted of 15 tracks featuring Offset, Lil Yachty, OG Mako, and Skipper da Flipper. While the release garnered listener interest, it did not achieve significant success. However, Rich the Kid soon received well-deserved recognition following the release of his mixtape Trap Talk. The release featured artists such as Kodak Black, Playboi Carti, 21 Savage, Ty Dolla $ign, and, of course, Migos. The most outstanding track of the mixtape was Plug. This track received a music video on the World Star Hip Hop channel and is considered a classic of the SoundCloud rap era. The video garnered over 67 million views and 500,000 likes, undoubtedly bringing Rich the Kid long-awaited success.
I'm out in Guatemala with $250,000 fucking with.
Shortly after the release of the first mixtape from Rich Forever Music, rapper J Stash left the label, leaving it as a duo consisting of Rich the Kid and Famous Dex. In July 2016, the label released its second release, titled Rich Forever 2. The mixtape was well received by listeners and included features with Wiz Khalifa, Young Thug, Lil Yachty, and Jaden Smith. Several tracks from the album had accompanying music videos that garnered millions of views, proving the success of the mixtape and the growing popularity of Rich the Kid along with his label. The next artist to sign with the Rich Forever Music label was Jay Critch. The aspiring rapper gained minor popularity with his track Did It Again. Rich the Kid created a remix of this track, which brought Jay Critch his first wave of success. The video released later amassed over 20 million views. In 2017, Rich Forever Music released an EP titled The Rich Forever Way, a relatively small release consisting of just 7 tracks. Nevertheless, they gained significant popularity on SoundCloud, amassing millions of streams. This EP served as a promotion for the label's new mixtape, Rich Forever 3, released in June 2017. On June 9, 2017, Rich the Kid announced that he had signed with Interscope Records. In an interview with XXL, the artist explained why he chose Interscope, quoting, "I was talking to representatives from various labels, Columbia, RCA, Epic. I didn't sign with Epic even when LA Reid offered me a crazy deal. Manny Smith and Interscope's CEO John Janik understand me and my vision for myself and my label. Interscope gave me the opportunity to take full control of the game, and that's exactly what I'm going to do." The rapper spoke negatively about his previous label and urged young artists to break their contracts with it. "To hell with 300 Entertainment, you all suck," the rapper said in a now-deleted video. "Listen, you all need to terminate that damn contract. I don't want to work with you anymore. I told you I'd give you your money back. I don't want to work with your label anymore. You all are trash. You all are garbage. Listen, young independent artists, do not sign with them. They are the worst, absolute worst label in the world." After these statements, the head of 300 Entertainment called Rich the Kid a clown.
Yo! Fuck 300 ENT, y'all suck. Listen, y'all gotta let me out this damn contract. I don't wanna be with y'all no fucking more. I told y'all, I give y'all this money back. I don't wanna be with y'all label no more. Y'all suck. Y'all is trash. Listen, young independent artists, do not sign with 300 ENT. There's the worst label ever. Let me know the numbers so I can pay y'all this money back, man. Lame ass shit. And look, if y'all want Rich Forever 4, go tell 300. Suck it.
How do I feel about that? I don't feel good about hearing that, but it sounds like he's a clown. Maybe it's a late night something. You know, here's the thing. I give money early. I sign a contract early, right? Mm-hmm. That's what about a contract? Money doesn't mean anything these days.
However, the artist's personal label, Rich Forever Music, is still owned by 300 Entertainment. The year 2017 marked a turning point in Rich the Kid's career. By this time, he had already released several mixtapes and singles that gained recognition among underground hip-hop fans. However, in 2017, his music reached an entirely new level. Releases on his label not only received enthusiastic reviews, but also attracted the attention of major players in the music industry. This was a true breakthrough, confirmed not only by growing popularity, but also by numerous collaboration offers from influential producers and labels. The culmination of this successful year was a collaboration with the legendary Kendrick Lamar. The 2017 track New Freezer became not just a hit, but a genuine phenomenon, quickly climbing the charts.
New freezer. I woke up thinking about bands. Hop over jet to a check when I land.
The rappers met entirely by chance in a recording studio. Rich the Kid and Kendrick Lamar were recording their tracks in adjacent rooms. Upon hearing New Freezer, Kendrick wanted to meet the young artist.
Who saying that to you?
Manny.
Manny said it to you.
Yeah, he like, Kendrick wants to meet you. He recording in the room next door. I'm like, Kendrick is right next door in the room? He like, yeah, he about to come in here. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, all right, bet. So I played him 2 songs. I played him 1 song, and then the second song I played him was New Freezer. So when I played New Freezer for him, he like, this the one. He like, this the one. I was like,
that is the one.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yo, but at the time, there was a verse from A$AP Ferg on New Freezer. Because when I recorded New Freezer, I was at Quad Studios in New York. It was Ferg's session. So Ferg had left out. I think he was doing some shit with Busta in the other room downstairs.
Quad Studio.
Yeah, Quad Studio, Busta.
He was doing some shit with Busta, and then I did New Freezer. I think I recorded like 15 minutes, and then he put a verse on it. So I played it for Kendrick. He like, all right, cool, I get on it, but it just got to be me and you on the song type shit.
New Freezer was released on September 26, 2017 and instantly became popular. Artists with entirely different personas and styles surprised everyone with their collaboration, further sparking audience interest in Rich the Kid. The single achieved platinum status on March 27, 2018, receiving RIAA certification for 1 million copies sold. It became the first track in the rapper's discography to appear on the Billboard Hot 100 chart, reaching 41st place and remaining there for 19 weeks. The success of the collaboration with Kendrick Lamar became a springboard for Rich the Kid, propelling him to the top of the hip-hop industry. This collaboration not only brought him immense popularity, but also set the pace for subsequent achievements. Just months after the release, the rapper introduced his most famous and successful track to date, Plug Walk.
I done ran into your girl. Why the plug show me love? I done came up from a dub.
This track became a phenomenon, a sensation that shook the charts and captivated millions of listeners worldwide. Plug Walk didn't just chart, it reached an impressive 13th position on the prestigious Billboard Hot 100, a milestone many rappers only dream of. It was an undeniable triumph, showcasing Rich the Kid's tremendous potential and his ability to create truly captivating compositions. The song's success wasn't limited to the charts. The music video for Plug Walk amassed over 350 million views on YouTube, a number that speaks for itself. On March 30th, 2018, the world heard Rich the Kid's debut album, The World Is Yours, released at the perfect time when he was receiving unprecedented attention. The singles New Freezer and Plug Walk were hits that to some extent defined the album's direction. It featured futuristic trap with a touch of pop sound. The lyrics were an ode to personal success, pure enjoyment of life, and confidence from achieved victories. The star-studded lineup only added to the style. Kendrick Lamar, Future, Khalid, Rick Ross, Chris Brown, Offset, Quavo, Lil Wayne, Trippie Redd, Sway Lee, and others.
Know you have circle when I come through. Pick up the phone when I want you. Pull up like a boss when I come through.
However, it was possibly 2018 that became both the most successful and the most scandalous year for Rich the Kid, as his career slowly began to unravel. It all started with a loud conflict with Lil Uzi Vert, which everyone discussed at the time. On January 12, 2018, Rich the Kid responded to a tweet by Lil Uzi Vert directed at DJ Drama. To clarify, Lil Uzi Vert had signed a contract with DJ Drama's label Generation Now in 2015 but became dissatisfied with the label over the years. Lil Uzi Vert again publicly expressed his disagreements with the label, tweeting, "And if you do sign, don't sign to a rapper or a DJ. Easier when the time comes for that fake trash." A few hours later, our hero of the video teased Lil Uzi Vert about his label situation, saying he should have joined Rich Forever Music when he had the chance. "That's why you should have signed to Rich Forever," the rapper tweeted, to which Uzi replied, "Bro, I'm not signing for 20 tracks." The feud escalated when Rich the Kid appeared on Power 106 Los Angeles Radio's The Cruise Show. When asked if he would sign Lil Uzi Vert if he left his controversial label, the rapper replied that they had personal disagreements.
And he going through it now, so there's a lot to learn from there, right? Yo, if Uzi didn't have a deal, would you sign him?
No.
Why not?
Not right now. Maybe back then.
Really?
Yeah.
Why not now?
Maybe I would sign him on my business, but not, you know what I'm saying, for personal reasons I wouldn't sign him.
Yeah.
In response, Lil Uzi Vert posted a photo on social media of himself holding a giant crab, claiming it cost him $1,000. Hours later, he reposted the image, but this time the sea creature was labeled as Rich the Kid. Later that day, Rich the Kid posted a photo of Lil Uzi Vert on his social media, captioning, "Oh, look at my son trying to be like me." Shortly afterward, the rapper went live to share a snippet of a new track with fans. The song included several lines seemingly aimed at Lil Uzi Vert, beginning with, "Your money getting shorter," a clear reference to Uzi's hit, Money Longer. The conflict simmered for a while, but reignited with even more noise. Lil Uzi Vert and Rich the Kid met in person, and nearly their entire encounter was captured by witnesses. The most talked about moment of their meeting was when Rich the Kid began running away from Lil Uzi Vert in the middle of a busy street, significantly damaging the rapper's reputation. Eventually, they ended up at a local Starbucks where Rich the Kid was struck and retreated behind the counter. This incident undoubtedly impacted Rich the Kid's image. The fight between the two rappers became public knowledge, and our video's hero faced widespread ridicule. On March 30th, 2018, the rapper released his second album, The World Is Yours 2. Rich the Kid called it the best album of the year and did everything to ensure its success, constantly delaying the release date to build anticipation, giving numerous radio interviews for promotion, posting provocative tweets, and inviting a host of stars, including Gunna, Young Thug, Big Sean, Offset, Ty Dolla $ign, Lil Pump, Takeoff, Jay Critch, and many others. The album debuted at number 1, 4 on the US Billboard 200 chart.
I got a bigger check. I used to call collect. I used used to worry and stress.
Around March of the same year, the Rich Forever music label began to lose momentum. Jay Critch didn't release a single successful track in 2018, and Famous Dex announced he was leaving Rich Forever music. The audience could feel the rappers, who had risen together in the hip-hop industry, losing their unity. Initially, the sense of camaraderie and collective success that bonded Rich the Kid, Jay Critch, and Famous Dex seemed unbreakable. However, by 2018, this unity had disintegrated. The Rich Forever music audience, once witnesses to the label's meteoric rise, now observed its inevitable decline. The loss of cohesion among the artists became apparent to everyone following the label's development. Instead of the strong and intriguing projects that once defined Rich Forever music's best times, the label began releasing works that seemed more like attempts to make quick money rather than showcase creative potential. The mixtape Rich Forever 4 epitomized this trend. Essentially, it was a collection of old tracks compiled solely to make a quick profit. This demonstrated that the label had lost its creative vision and prioritized immediate financial gain over product quality. The culmination of this decline was the further tarnishing of Famous Dex's reputation. He found himself at the center of numerous scandals involving allegations of domestic violence and repeated run-ins with law enforcement. These negative events caused irreparable damage not only to his career but also to the reputation of the entire Rich Forever music label. On December 6, 2019, it was announced that Rich the Kid had left Interscope Records and signed with Republic Records, marking the starting point of his career's decline. Several months later, the rapper faced a lawsuit. Peter Marco from Extraordinary Jewels of Beverly Hills claimed that the rapper had an unpaid bill of $234,800 for jewelry, including watches and bracelets. According to reports, Marco filed court documents stating that he had worked with Rich the Kid since October 2017. During this time, the rapper ordered diamond necklaces, crosses, and watches worth several $100,000. The jeweler stated that Rich the Kid initially paid via bank transfers but eventually stopped making payments. Meanwhile, Rich the Kid continued ordering jewelry, which Marco reportedly fulfilled. However, the bills began to pile up and Marco claimed he was not paid. Now, the jeweler has sued Rich the Kid to recover the owed amount. This was not the first legal case involving Rich the Kid in recent years. In February, the artist was sued by Blueprint Artist Management, who claimed that Rich the Kid breached his contract with them. In their complaint, the company stated that the rapper owed them over $3.5 million under an agreement signed in May 2017. Blueprint Artist Management claimed they repeatedly reached out to Rich the Kid to secure the owed payments, but their efforts were unsuccessful. A month after the turbulent events surrounding his previous releases and conflicts, on March 13, 2020, Rich the Kid released his third studio album titled Boss Man.
The money gets stuck together. My bitch, she bad as ever. My niggas, they rich forever.
Expectations were high given his past successes and collaborations with numerous well-known artists. However, despite the bold title and star-studded guest list, the album failed to replicate the success of his previous works and did not live up to the hype. It debuted at only the 24th position on the prestigious Billboard 100 chart, staying there for just 4 weeks. This was a significantly modest result compared to the rapper's past achievements, where his releases charted much higher. Even collaborations with renowned hip-hop artists featured on Boss Man failed to draw enough listener attention to ensure the album's commercial success. This failure was a worrying sign, indicating a serious decline in the artist's popularity. In February 2020, in an attempt to reboot his career and regain a wave of popularity, Rich the Kid terminated his contract with his previous label and signed a deal with Empire Distribution. This decision was likely driven by a desire for greater creative freedom and control over his musical material. Shortly after, a collaboration with Youngboy Never Broke Again followed.
I put an M in the safe. I put a race in the face. I give her a bag, she bang. I blow it back.
Their joint mixtape titled Nobody Safe was released with high expectations but also failed to deliver. The album reached only the 43rd position on the Billboard 100, with just 19,000 copies sold in its first week. This was an alarmingly low figure for a joint project between two such prominent artists. This result underscored the severity of the challenges the rapper faced. Switching to a new label and collaborating with a successful artist seemed like it should have revitalized his career, but the outcomes fell short of expectations. In 2021, the situation surrounding Rich Forever music reached a critical point. Long-simmering tensions and dissatisfaction within the label spilled out publicly in a statement by one of its key artists, Jay Critch. On his Instagram story, the rapper posted 3 scathing messages. "I'm no longer in Rich Forever. That shit is complete bullshit," wrote the rapper. "They'll be your brothers until business comes into play. Then it's all lawyers and contracts. Nothing real about it." Jay Critch's statement was effectively the final nail in the coffin for Rich Forever music. On April 14, 2021, Rich the Kid signed a multi-million-dollar deal with Rostrum Records. This was followed by the release of the track Feelin' Like Tunechi with Lil Wayne. On October 1st, 2021, a joint release by the two rappers titled Trust Fund Babies was released. It reached the 35th position on the Billboard 100 and remained there for only 1 week. Just 15,000 copies of the album were sold in its first week after release. The same year saw the release of an EP titled Lucky 7. It was quickly overlooked and forgotten, failing to chart anywhere. After these releases, the rapper put out numerous features in an attempt to generate some buzz, but these efforts were unsuccessful. The most notable feature was a track with Russian artist Morgenstern.
If I gave him all I had, you know I'd probably be a man. Said to get him all evicted, they were...
The track was purchased, but Morgenstern and his team were dissatisfied with the collaboration, creating an entire video about it on their channel.
Именно поэтому Rich the Kid сейчас не имеет того уровня, который у него был несколько лет назад.
Настолько напой относятся к своей работе, но мы сейчас дальше об этом поговорим. Начиналось все.
Он просто получил предоплату и сходу через 4 часа присылает куплет. Просто от куплета на мурашки. Мне очень нравится этот куплет. Давайте так.
Куплет.
Мы все это время мы его как бы боготворили, на самом деле. Мы были ему максимально благодарны, даже на видосах.
Что даже после съемок клипа мы все равно к нему отнеслись, типа, ну ладно.
С пониманием.
С пониманием. Типа, топ-артист, а он забил просто.
Мы сделали тречок.
И не собирались снимать
Мы
клип.
не собирались снимать клип изначально. Но судьба злодейка подкинула концерт Rich the Kid в Дубае.
Мы, естественно, берем эту ситуацию в свои руки и радуемся этому, опять же, потому что пока что все идет максимально круто. Он там пишет Алишеру, что типа «Wow, bro, it's a big hit, yo, it's a big song, let's do it».
В песню он верил, говорил, ебать, это же вообще ебать. Там big hit, big song, my brother, да, давай деньги и клип снимать. Да, то есть все наше общение вот так было. Yeah, bro, it's amazing, where is the money?
According to Morgenstern and his team, Rich the Kid failed to fulfill the terms of the agreement. The rapper did not fully appear in the music video, spending only 40 minutes on set, forcing the production to hire a double to finish shooting. He also showed complete indifference to the track after receiving his payment. In addition to not fully participating in the music video, Rich the Kid took the items provided to him for the shoot, unaware that they turned out to be counterfeit.
И все эти шмотки приезжают на площадку.
Rich the Kid украл у нас паленые кроссовки Prada.
И ходил в Италии, во Франции, там снимал.
This further damaged the rapper's reputation, even though not on an international level. However, in the eyes of the Russian audience, the rapper's image took a significant hit. Despite the fact that the quality of the rapper's music was decent, it did not achieve the success it deserved. It can be assumed that the scandals, which have indeed surrounded Rich the Kid throughout his career, are the reason for this. One could stop there and draw a fairly clear conclusion that the hero of our video became yet another example of how easily one can lose former success and popularity in the hip-hop industry. However, 2024 changed the entire situation. Rich the Kid participated in the recording of Kanye West's new album, Vultures 1. The rapper's part appears in the album's most popular track, Carnival. This event truly gave hope for the rapper's return to the level of success he once had. Before the release of Kanye West's album, Rich the Kid had about 5 million monthly listeners on Spotify. However, after the hit was released, the number of listeners grew to over 20 million. This track became the most popular in the rapper's entire discography, and it's worth noting that his verse is truly catchy. What happened next in Rich the Kid's career? After long anticipation, he announced that Kanye West and Ty Dolla $ign would be the producers of his new album, titled Life's a Gumble. This announcement certainly evoked positive emotions among fans and inspired hope that Rich the Kid could rebuild his career and regain the widespread popularity he once enjoyed. The album was finally released on July 19th this year. It included not only guest verses from the producers themselves, but also collaborative tracks with many well-known artists such as Chief Keef, The Late Takeoff, Quavo, Offset, and many others. However, despite expectations, the album was poorly received by critics and failed to achieve commercial success. Although the track Carnival managed to draw new listeners' attention to Rich the Kid, he could not sustain this interest in the long term. Many experts point to the lack of creativity and monotonous sound of the album as reasons for its failure, adding that Rich the Kid likely should have released new material immediately after the track with Kanye came out, so that the new audience could hear it. Unfortunately, the album came out only several months later, negatively affecting its streams and commercial success. As unfortunate as it sounds, Rich the Kid's career is currently experiencing a serious crisis. Even with a successful hit released this year, the rapper still failed to retain the interest of the new audience for a long time. Rich the Kid's music has always been of good quality, but negative circumstances and loud conflicts in the music industry have significantly undermined his reputation, which can be considered the main reason for his current failures. We remain hopeful that Rich the Kid will release something truly impressive in the future that will not only please his loyal fans, but also attract the attention of new listeners, bringing him back to the top of the music Olympus. Share your opinion about Rich the Kid's career in the comments. Thank you for watching and see you soon.